Well, last week I mentioned a quote by Wassily Leontief, the American Nobel laureate in economics, where he said in 1983 that just as the horse could not adjust to the invention of the tractor, so the human worker would go the way of the horse. I hope there'd be a lot of comment and discussion about that, but nothing. And perhaps that's because there's so many other things happening at the moment, so many immediate problems. I mean, look at this week. We have a strike now again at that long-delayed power station Medupi. We have increased electricity prices, again increased electricity prices, on top of the increased fuel prices and the new ones to come in next month as a result of the budget. Then we have Sasol going to lay off perhaps 1,500 workers. We have the Aurora debacle, the tragedy of Aurora in the court case, in a court case in Pretoria, in the High Court. We have the public service unions at loggerheads with the government. It's a massive swamp, but I suppose a sort of information swamp, and people find this difficult to confront reality. There was a wonderful example last weekend with President Jacob Zuma during the reburial of that liberation icon J.B. Marx in Ventersdorp, where he basically said or implied that one of the causes for all our problems was disunity within the ANC-led alliance. Now, quite honestly, I can't see how that has any bearing whatsoever on our power crisis, on the crisis in the NPA, on all the crises we're now facing. But he did so in the name of J.B. Marx, and he called for a Bosberaad, a get-together of the bureaucracy of COSATU, the ANC, and the SACP to solve these matters once and for all. Now, I'm not sure how many of you know about J.B. Marx, but J.B. Marx was a trade unionist. He was president of the African Mine Workers Union that staged that incredible strike in 1946. It was so brutally put down. He was also a leading communist and member of the ANC from 1928. But he was, above all else, he was a unifier, but he was, above all else, a rank-and-file person. It was he in 1966 and again in 1969 who played a leading role in holding the ANC together at a time when it seemed in danger of fragmentation. But he didn't do so by going into the metaphorical smoke-filled rooms. He did it by appealing to, talking to, and listening to the rank and file, which is the antithesis of going to the top to sort out matters. And I think if he were alive today, it would be perfectly legitimate to suppose that he would support the constitutionally correct position to have COSATU call a special national congress where all these issues could be debated, thrashed out, and then decided democratically. But there's so much, and there's so many important things to be discussed that I think in my column this week, my Inside Labour column, which you can read on this platform, Fin24, tomorrow, and in page 2 of the business section of City Press on Sunday, I shall focus on a former parastatal, Sasol, a current parastatal, Eskom, and some of the historical realities that we should deal with when we're talking about this, including grossly cut price electricity that was supplied and the errors that were made that we have to confront. At the same time, Leontief's comment about horses, tractors, and humans still also applies. So it's over to you. Your comments, your platform is open to you at editor@fin24.com. That's editor@fin24.com. And for this week, that's all from me. Cheers.